Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and WYW faithful, welcome to WYW Off The Books. The only podcast which delves into the minds of our athletes before an upcoming mega event. Now here is your host, the Wrestling Encyclopedia, CAW.
Hello everyone and welcome to the inaugural edition of WYW Off The Books. I'm the Wrestling Encyclopedia Casey Gallagher and it's a very exciting time in Weymouth Youth Wrestling right now. The road to Immortal has reached its end. With Gold Rush in the rear view, it's a good time to look into the minds of the athletes who have worked so hard to bring you exciting, entertaining content every time they step into the ring. With that in mind, my first guest, well, if you're familiar with WYW at all, he certainly needs no introduction. He'll be competing in Immortal against the outsider Mark Young to crown the inaugural Weymouth Youth Wrestling World Champion in one of the most dangerous matches in all the industry, a Hell in a Cell match. And he has kindly agreed to this interview here today. Please welcome the face of WYW, the Executioner, Michael X. Man, a few words and got a few of those around here. Okay. First things first. You have been with this company since day one. As one of the original six, what does it mean to you, on a personal and professional level, to finally reach the point of being able to not only put on, but headline a super show of this magnitude, the biggest show this company has ever produced?
Good. It's the fact at the end of the day, no matter what injury was in my way, I overcame it. I became stronger, and no matter who was in front of me, I knocked them down so I could keep going. This wasn't a tournament, this was a survival test to see who was the strongest. And yeah, one of the original six. I'm very glad I'm at this moment, because I got a real itch to cause some pain.
And you're finally going to get the chance to scratch that itch come Immortal.
Fucking A.
You're one of the most familiar competitors in terms of look and appearance to our fan base. Many, myself included, would go so far as to call you the face of the company. But we know surprisingly little about your past, and if you don't wish to answer, that's okay. But if you could, would you tell us about your childhood, how you grew up, some of the things that made you into the person you are today?
As I said to James, the past gets put in the past. And like mistakes, I buried them a long time ago.
Fair enough. Your combat skills are almost the stuff of legend throughout the industry, and many people I've talked to are willing to call you one of the most well-rounded competitors they've seen in the last 15 years. Who was your trainer, and what spurred you to start working inside the Squared Circle?
I didn't have a trainer. I taught myself everything that I needed to know. Everything that I needed to know. Growing up in South D, growing up in a tough neighborhood, trying to make sure to just make it by day, being honestly the only white kid left in my entire neighborhood. Every single day living in the projects, just trying to fight my way to school at a very young age. At 5 years old, I was having 35-year-old men throwing beer bottles at the back of my head. Just because I looked different, because I acted different, because I sounded different. So the end result was, I had to become tough. So I went to the local boxing arena, and I got stronger. I got faster. I became the strongest kid in my neighborhood. And for good goddamn reason, nobody will hurt me again like they did. And I'll make sure of it. But from this point on, I'll make sure it doesn't happen to anybody anymore. And yes, I would admit, I am one of the most talented athletes on the entire roster, from my own perspective. But everybody's better than me in so many different ways, because they don't let the baggage hold them down and keep them in place. They move freely without it, and use their baggage as a weapon to make them stronger and faster. So at the end of the day, I have to become the excellence in execution
And with that said, I believe it is time to take our first commercial break. Do not go anywhere. We've got the execution of Michael X on tap, and we will get to how he joined Weymouth Youth Wrestling right after this.
Labeled one of the best rock bands in recent memory and future rock and roll Hall of Famers, Disturbed are back with their newest album, Immortalized, featuring their hit single, The Vengeful One. Other tracks on this album include Fire It Up, Save Our Last Goodbye, Legion of Monsters, the official WYW Gold Rush quarterfinal theme songs, Never Wrong, and The Brave and the Bold. And the official premiere event, WYW Immortal theme songs, The Light, and Immortalized. Download the full album now on iTunes and on Spotify. Disturbed, Immortalized.
Proudly sponsored by Weymouth Youth Wrestling.
Michael X and Mark Young at Immortal in the main event will be fighting for the WYW Heavyweight Championship inside a Hell in a Cell. But Michael X is not the only one with a score to settle with the Maggie Daddy Men, as the Hat Trick Incorporated look to settle a much-needed score after Corey Dangerous screwed Chris Dodd in his match with the Maggie Daddy Men leader, Mark Young. After the events of quarterfinals episode 1, where Owen Finch fought in a losing effort to Ramel Tsunami, the Maggie Daddy Men would then go and assault Owen Finch with 2 chairs before Chris Dodd, the franchise, would come out and make the save. Once they chased the Maggie Daddy Men off, Colin Dunn had an interview with them after the show. It was then learned that the Maggie Daddy Men, provided that they lose in the Gold Rush Tag Team Tournament, would be fighting the Hat Trick Incorporated.
Chris, Owen, it's learned that after tonight's events, you guys, along with John Brady, will be fighting Brett, Corey, and Little Andre in a 6-man tag match. How do you feel?
You damn right, Colin. You motherfuckers think you could get one over on us? Come on, what are you doing? You've got to be 3 levels of stupid. Ironically enough, there's 3 of you. I've been waiting to get my hands on these mamby-pamby bitches. Or wait, McFlugo flopper anuses. Ah, fuck it, what does it matter? Just like tonight, we're gonna prove that they're nothing but the side bit hoes of Mark Young. Tell him what it's like, Chris.
This is gonna be a fun match. Mainly because I get to kick the shit out of the guy who cost me in the first round to begin with. I'll tell you right now, I'm still a fucking franchise, and with the Birdman and Brickhouse by my side, we're taking these bitches to school.
Hat Trick Incorporated. Don't you forget it, baby!
Corey Dangerous and Brett Menchen would then lose to Chris Phoenix and Jones Meister, collectively known as the Almost Cousin Alliance. Later on in the show, however, Chris Dodd would then have a backstage assault planned for one tank, known as Little Andre. This fueled the fire for what's sure to be a volatile encounter between the Maggie Daddy Men and the Hat Trick Incorporated, as Corey Dangerous, Brett Menchen, and Little Andre had some thoughts after the show and recorded them for us to hear.
You know who are a bunch of nerds? The Hat Trick Incorporated, yeah, right, guys?
I can't say you're wrong on that. They're
Just thinking about them makes me feel even more dead inside than I already am. Pieces of shit.
Indeed.
Yeah, you know what, guys? I can't understand what you're trying. It's like, this is ridiculous. I just want. Can we just all be nice and fun and have some good happy afternoon shenanigans?
I'll tell you who won't be having a nice happy afternoon. Hat Trick Inc. come immortal.
Yeah, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take them, I'm gonna fold them like a piece of origami paper, and I'm gonna stretch him out like he ate nothing at the end of the day. I swear to God, I'm gonna bust him in half. I'm gonna break his goddamn neck. I swear to God.
Corey, I think we need to find some downers for Andre.
Yeah, I think we do.
That was it? Okay. Despite the unorthodox interview style that the Maggie Daddy men seem to have, they are not to be messed with. Yeah, no, seriously. I mean, they're not. Really. A piece of origami paper. I'm sorry. But yeah, they're not to be messed with. And what will happen when the Hat Trick Incorporated and the Maggie Daddy Men come to blows? Find out at 4:00 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Saturday night as we find out who the best trio in WYW is. We will now return you to your regularly scheduled broadcast right after these messages.
Hi everybody, my name is Gary Hebert with the World Academy of Hockey.
We all know Gary is a great skater and also a great stick handler, enthusiasm.
Hands will get better, your goal will get better, you learn how to skate faster and better.
Developing that east to west lateral explosiveness. So that lateral explosiveness is going to lead to a lot more unpredictability and elusiveness on the ice. You know, now you see me, now you don't.
You really have to develop those skating skills and stick handling skills.
So listen, when you come to my camps or clinics, what we're after is this. We want to build a complete player, quote unquote, from the blades up. When we're on this ice, we're here to, number one, work hard, number two, have fun. If we work hard and have fun, ain't nothing else that matters, okay? Improvement is inevitable if we're working hard and having fun. Isn't that right, Nick? See? Isn't that right?
If you would like to try and go to Gary Hebert's World Academy of Hockey, please go to the website www.garyhebert.com. Right there will be a sign-up page for you to sign up anytime, anywhere. Make sure to also check out the schedule page and check out the different events that are on there to see what it's really all about. Gary Hebert's World Academy of Hockey, the breakthrough hockey performance center of North America. From the blades up.
Proud sponsor of Weymouth Youth Wrestling.
And welcome back to Off the Books with the Executioner Michael X. When last we left off, we established that you're extremely well versed in combat sports. How did you learn of Weymouth Youth Wrestling, and what drew you to join the organization?
So I got a call from Jim a long time ago. He said he wanted to start something new, something he hasn't tried in a long time. I got the contract in my mail, and instantaneously, I found out a bunch of my good friends, people that I care about, were also signing up. I've traveled the entire world, but to come home and see people that I've seen in the streets since I was a little kid notice me as who I am, not as the lonely runt living in South Boston, living in Southie, but to see me as me. See, that's the whole problem. Everybody looks at this and sees a mask. I see it as my true self. It's my face. This is my face. This is who I choose to be from this point on.
As mentioned, you've been with this company since the beginning. What was it like to see WYW grow and change into the company it is today, and how do you feel to have played a major role in its success?
It's interesting, and it's an honor. But it's nothing that I'm going to ride home about. It's nothing that I'm going to write down on a piece of paper, make a book about, and try to get famous off of it, because I don't need it. I don't need the money, I don't need the power, I don't need the time. What I need is what I set my goals to. And right now I got one stupid, son of a bitch that's in my way to my goal.
I don't think he'll be stepping out unless you make him step off.
I'll break his fucking leg before he even steps.
So now we come to the test match series, which many people I've talked to consider the true birth of WYW as we know it today. Can you give us your thoughts on those matches? Maybe share some memories from those days?
My first match with James at the Boston Garden was incredible. We felt like we were in our own skin. The crowd disappeared for a while. It was just us and a canvas. And in that match, we tried to make art. But being a couple newbies, we did what we could with what we knew. And then there's the night with Mark.
Did what he did.
But I'm not going to focus on that. No. Not an immortal. Not this time. I got a couple goals I have to set before then. And a couple targets I gotta hit first. So if any of these boys are listening, listen very close. Almost have your ear right to your phone, to your headphones, to your TV set. I want you to hear it when I say it. Before Immortal, the Maggies will have something to fear. And it's not just gonna be the red of my eyes that they see. It's going to be the blood dripping from their heads.
And I think it's safe to just leave it at that. After the last test match, WYW went dormant for some time, until the Gold Rush tournament began. What did you get up to during that time?
A lot of physical therapy. I had to finish off getting the rest of the shards out of my legs. But it was a good healing process. It gave me time to think. Time to come up with a plan, something that nobody's ever seen. Got to travel the world one more time, meet a couple good athletes, train a couple new boys, and show them their strongest weapon in a match is not this. It's your heart, not your head. Because if you think with your heart and you fight with your head, then you're always gonna win a match. Think where you have to be, not where you are.
And on that note, I am told that it's time to take a second commercial break. When we come back, it's all about the Gold Rush tournament. Michael's thoughts on the matches, some moments, even his favorite moves and deadliest moves. We'll be right back. Don't touch that dial.
If you guys are into the underground hip-hop scene, please check out my cousin MC Solarwind on YouTube.com, SoundCloud.com, and other social media platforms.
A reason to go on, cause it's lonely on my own. I chose to leave my home, cause I thought that I had grown. My paper stack high, so high, but not cash though. My mind works quicker than most, guess why I rap for? I write lyrics backwards, didn't catch it, hit the fast forward.
You can check out all of his hits from his mixtape Classic.
And it's all real. Underground past the pavement, we be wildin' on the corner freestyling.
To his second mixtape, I Am Solar Wind.
Breathe out, face, breathe in, breathe out, goals, breathe in, breathe out, fire, breathe in, breathe out, focus.
Along with all the rest of his music on SoundCloud.com/MC-Solar-Wind.
Didn't get the best cards, play whatever's given us.
Make sure you give some props to my cousin and tell him that James sent you here.
Praise, but give credit when credit's due. Lately I'm feeling I should stop saying lately. My thoughts is timeless, won't be here if you page me.
Love you, Ty. Keep doing you, man.
Solar Wind.
Proud sponsor of Weymouth Youth Wrestling.
Home. It's where your story comes to life. Trust CertaPro painters to create the perfect setting as each new chapter unfolds. We're easy to work with, and our professional painters deliver the highest level of service. So wherever life leads, your home follows. CertaPro painters. We do painting, you do life. Schedule your free estimate at CertaPro.com.
Proudly sponsored by Weymouth Youth Wrestling.
This is a public service announcement by Radio Massasoit. Hey, you. Yeah, you. texting on your phone while you're driving. You don't think there's anything bad that could come about it? Oh, it's just a simple text, right, that you're sending out to a friend? Well, what happens if you hear this? That's you in a car crash. And pretty soon, you're going to be leaving behind your family, friends, and loved ones. Next time when you're on your way to school, wait until you're off the road to text someone. This public service announcement about texting and driving was brought to you by Radio Massasoit, where success starts here.
Welcome back to Off the Books with the execution of Michael X. Now we come to the Gold Rush tournament itself. How did you react to hearing that it was happening, and what were some of your favorite matches and memories from throughout?
I would have to be 100% honest on this and say I was excited, ecstatic even, so I could show the world and everybody in the company that the Executioner isn't just back, but he's got a reboot. He's got a new set of moves to use, and he's ready to use them anywhere, anytime, any place.
Back and better than ever, you'd say?
Oh, better than that. So, having my first match with Victor, making my way to Chris, I should say. Then after that, Brandon, and then finally ending it with James.
Those last two matches were absolutely incredible to watch. I got very emotional, I will admit, during the match.
Thank you. But nothing will ever beat what James and I built. This is our company. Jim might have given us the call, but James and I built a monument of success for anybody below us, or close to us, or even looking at us can see from any distance, any side of the world, from any location. We built a pillar. That's what it's all about.
Just about done here, but before we come to my last two questions, do you have a particular favorite story, match, and/or memory from your career thus far?
Nothing strikes to mind at the moment. I'm focused, like a shotgun in the wilderness. And I got my shot lined up really easily to one stupid bastard that I'm gonna put a fucking bullet in. Bang!
As it should be. At last, we look to the future, which you just alluded to. Your match at Immortal, as mentioned...
I'm gonna cut you off right there, if you don't mind. Mark, if you're hearing this, and I hope you're listening in good. At Immortal, I heard the things that you said. I listened. I listened to every little thing you've ever said in the locker room. I listened to everything that you've ever said on the phone. I have your phones tapped. I hear everything that you do. I am the darkness that lives in you. You say that we're the same, but we're complete opposites. And they say opposites attract. Sorry, but I see you as a cinder block, and I'm the goddamn sledgehammer. You like sledgehammers, don't you? Well, at Immortal, I'm gonna make you fucking eat one. I'm gonna break you into itty-bitty little pieces and sprinkle you like ashes on the ground. I'm gonna make sure that you know who you're fucking with. Because from this point on, I'm not playing games. What you saw during the tournament was nothing compared to what I'm gonna do at Immortal. So get ready, get set, and let's fucking go.
I think that about answers the last two questions I have on my list, but before we end things off, do you have a message for the fans regarding Immortal?
Watch and understand who's in the ring, why they're in the ring, and what they're fighting for. If you haven't watched up to the point of Immortal, you should. Because at Immortal, careers aren't gonna just start, but one is gonna permanently end. One way or another.
Michael X about ready to play judge, jury, and executioner come Immortal, and I personally cannot wait to see him do it. Alright, well, that'll about wrap things up here for this inaugural edition of WYW Off The Books. My guest, the executioner Michael X, thank you very much, sir, for your time and input here today. Also, I know I'm supposed to keep it professional, but if it wasn't obvious already, he's my pick to win the title match at Immortal, and I'm not just saying that because he's right in front of me. You know as
fucking better not.
Oh, please, absolutely not. You know as well as I do. I followed your career quite closely.
See, you're a smart guy. You know your picks, you know your calls. You've rarely been wrong. But I want you to know you have my respect on this one. Call it fairly, call it evenly. We're both athletes. Just one of us is a bigger scumbag than the other. But know this. That night, I see how it's gonna end. All I'm gonna say is, when you're sitting there, marking the time, ringing the bell, I want you to look up. Because his entire career is gonna come crashing down like hellfire
and brimstone.
I'm gonna send him straight to hell, where he belongs, and I'm gonna torment him for the rest of his life. Because that night at Immortal, you're gonna see a new face. Not this face, not the face of the executioner, but the Boston Devil is coming home, and I'm coming to collect.
On a soul that's long overdue. Michael X, thank you again, and I can't wait for the big one. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Wrestling Encyclopedia Casey Gallagher, and this has been WYW Off The Books. Thanks for tuning in, and I'll see you next time.
A table from hell with the Psycho Asylum. An Iron Man match of factorial proportions. Man.
In this fight, I will melt you down to slag.
Versus Machine.
I calculate a 0.85% chance that you will win in your current condition.
All Metal Mayhem. Colleen Horizon.
When you throw me into the wolves, I will return leading the pack.
Vera McGarden.
And I'll do anything to be the warrior on top.
For the Athena title, best friends turned bitter rivals. Johnny Starr.
Don't get in the way of the star or you'll get burned.
James, the Archangel.
I'm the real star of this brand.
For the international title, the Outsider Mark Young. The Executioner Michael X. For the WYW World Heavyweight title. 2 out of 3 fall.
Inside.
In a hell in a cell. WYW Immortal this Saturday night. Now available on these streaming platforms.